occasion, and we have some very, very special guests here with us today. In just a moment, I'm going to invite Governor Haley to come up and make a presentation to someone who's very special to all of us. Someone who's not really sure why we're all gathered here right now, because he was sold to build a good city and have a cup of tea with the governor. I had no idea that this was really an opportunity to honor Ed Chamberlayne. Ed Chamberlayne has been an Army officer for many, many years. He's been in Charleston for 2, and we're really sad to say farewell to him in a few weeks. But that's the way it works in the military. We come and we go. And the folks that we leave behind and the legacy that we leave behind is part of the tremendous effort that we put forth during the small amount of time that we have here in our commands. But Ed's done a tremendous job. He's been very dedicated to the state of South Carolina, done a tremendous amount of work to further this port, and many, many other projects in the state of South Carolina. So Ed, on behalf of many people who I will thank later on today, many people have come here today to make a special presentation to you, and I don't think anyone can do it any better than the 116th Governor of the state of South Carolina, Governor Nikki Haley.
For the wind blow. We just came off the water, but it is a beautiful day in South Carolina, and this is a great day for us to celebrate someone who has done an amazing job for our state. And when I think of our nuclear plants, when I think of this port, when I think of Fort Jackson, when we think of everything we're trying to move in South Carolina, the Corps is a huge part of that. And I will tell you that you come across a lot of people that work hard and give service, but very rarely do you come across someone that cares so much that they understand time is money, that they understand moving things faster matters. Just dealing with the port situation. Ed has saved us $5 million and cut the project time in half. That's huge for Charleston. That's huge for South Carolina. And he's shown that with every project he's worked on. So you have a lot of support and a lot of fans that are sorry to see you go. But none of us expect you to do anything but great things. And so I hope that South Carolina is a place you can always call home. I am very familiar with the military when y'all come and go. My husband keeps going, and I'm waiting for him to come back. But I will tell you, we appreciate your service and everything that you continue to do for our state and our country. And so it's with that I have the pleasure of presenting you for the Order of the Palmetto in grateful recognition of your contributions and friendship to the state of South Carolina and her people. I do hereby confer upon you, Edward P. Chamberlayne, the Order of the Palmetto.
Thank you. I am very shocked and surprised. I certainly don't deserve this, but all the employees of the Charleston District Corps of Engineers deserve this. But I am very humbled and thankful. Governor Haley, I thought we were just kind of showing you around Harvard today. We wanted to update you last minute on all the projects we're working on, but we have a tremendous team here in Charleston. The entire team, for instance, in the Harvard Evening Study, is so focused on trying to do the very best, not just for Charleston, but for our country. And all I try to do is communicate how hard they really are working. And if I can understand it, I think I can explain to other people. But this is a massive, huge honor that I don't deserve, but I really completely appreciate it, and I've so enjoyed my time here in Charleston. And, Mayor Riley and I, they just gave an award ceremony, and it was such an honor working with you, but everybody here in this room. Charleston and South Carolina has really been a special place for me and my family. We've really enjoyed our time and don't understand how 2 years have already gone by so fast. I even tried to get fired and stay here longer. It didn't work out, but I will tell you that we have another commander coming in to Charleston, Lieutenant Colonel John Litz, that is just so eager to go and be here. And will continue to push not only Charleston Harbor forward, but everything else we're working on in the state. But again, I'm surprised. I really did not know this was in the works. Even Narissa kept it secret from me. And I certainly didn't know my family was on it. So I really appreciate it, and thank you so much.
And it's not over with, actually. You jumped in the agenda there a little bit. And, Mayor Riley, would you please come forward?
Governor Haley, thank you very much for being here. It's an honor having us today and present this state's highest award that the state of South Carolina will present for Palmetto. And thanks Chairman Stern and the members of the Board of State Courts Authority, Jim Houston, the Executive Director, members of the dedicated staff of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers District Office. I've had the honor of having the job I have for a long time. And so every 2 years, something happens in Charleston where you know that it's going to eventually kind of break your heart. Because you meet a fine, new, young Army colonel and the head of the district office. And it seems to me, well, they obviously picked the very best to come here. It's a very important responsibility, place to further prove one's capacity to continue to move up the ranks, way up the ranks in the United States Army Corps of Engineers. So we've met with these very bright, amazingly talented, fine, all-American people, and we know that 2 years from then, they're going to tell us about it. So that was how I felt when I met Colonel Chamberlayne almost 2 years ago. And it was kind of prepared for what will happen next month. But of all the people that have served us, Colonel, and all of you, and they've been extraordinary, and they've gone to different generals and other things. But no one has been more impressive than Dad Training. And I want him to know, and Allison and Emma and Eddie, how much all of you have meant to us in our community. Colonel Chamberlayne is a young man. He has, believe it or not, been in the United States Army 20 years. His service covers the world, Iraq, Afghanistan, Bosnia, Germany, many posts here. And let me just remind you of some of the awards and decorations that he has received. 2 Bronze Star medals, 4 Meritorious Service medals, 3 Army Commendation medals, 5 Army Achievement medals, 2 Armed Forces Expeditionary medals, Afghanistan campaign, Iraq campaign medal, 2 stars, GWOT Service Medal, Expeditionary Medal, NATO Medal, Combat Action Badge, and Air Assault Badge. This young man has, in many ways, only begun his service to the Army Corps of Engineers throughout the country. This is a very interesting job for a soldier to have. It's essentially a civilian job. He directs an amazing group, very talented, and I know firsthand, and looking at a number of very dedicated employees that have to direct and manage this district, which is the state of South Carolina. As the governor mentioned, a host of complicated civil works and other projects that are under their direction. He has the political end of dealing with us, with me, on, fighting hard to get the permit for the drainage or whatever, or talk about the port in just a minute, the community, because everything they do has a substantial community input, advisory capacity, United States Army Corps of Engineers, and there's so much more. And Ed Chamberlayne has handled all of that with remarkable humility and an extraordinary work ethic. And of course, most important of all is the deepening of this party. And that being done as soon as humanly possible. And that is a big undertaking because the environmental assessment and the feasibility analysis to prove it can be done and to prove it's worth the nation's investment and to prove that it will not cause irreversible damage to the environment that we all hold dear. It's got to be done just right. You can't overlook anything. You can't take it easy on anything. You've got a myriad of regulations and responsibilities to attend to. The Colonel Chamberlain accepted the responsibility of doing this in record speed. And he will, and they will, and this harbor will, its economic and environmental analysis will happen more quickly than any project of this size anywhere, which of course redounds to the benefit of every person in South Carolina and every manufacturing facility and everybody involved in importing and exporting and obviously in South Carolina Corps of Engineers. So, Colonel, it's such a pleasure for me to have the opportunity to publicly commend you, thank you for your service here, as well as to try to convey my enormous admiration for you. We were lucky to have you and Allison and Gemma and Eddie here, and please know that there is no rule against an Army Corps of Engineers general and their family retiring